All right. Sorry now. Okay, right, we're ready to start. So once again, good evening, everyone. And thank you all so much for joining us here tonight for our JET welcome event in collaboration with the Embassy of Ireland in Japan. I'd first like to give a big welcome to all the new JET participants who arrived in Japan at the end of 2021 after some long delays due to the COVID-19. You all had great patience to get here, so I'm sure it wasn't an easy few months for a lot of you, but we're delighted to have you here tonight. And since it's been a few months now since you've arrived in Japan, I'm sure you've had some time to get adjusted to your new environments, but I'm also sure that it's been overwhelming at times. So one of the purposes of tonight's event is kind of just to connect JETs with one another and introduce some of the organizations in Japan, particularly aimed at the Irish community, and just to show that we're all here to support, and hopefully we can help you feel like you're at home a bit tonight. So a bit about myself. My name is Aisling Barry and I'll be the MC tonight. I'm a fifth year JET based in Kamaishi City, Iwate Prefecture. And I got involved with the Japan Chamber of Commerce, or IJCC, when I was asked to give an online presentation back in September 2020 about myself and where I live and the Irish connections here. And that was part of a new online event series called Tales from the Regions. After that, I joined the regional committee with IJCC, which has been a great way to connect with other Irish people living in Japan, and managed to make lots of connections, both personal and professional. So yeah, for tonight's event, then we have a good lineup of speakers, and it's quite informal. So you're welcome to leave your camera on if you like, grab a drink and relax. And we're going to hear from several speakers who are involved in promoting Irish relations between Japan and Ireland. And after that, we will have a quiz. I think it's our first time using this quiz software, so it should be enjoyable, I hope. And after that, then we'll break into smaller groups in breakout rooms, and we can have a chance to meet each other kind of more face to face. And if you have any questions at any time, please just type in the chat and we'll get to you. So without further ado, I'd first like to hand over to Tsuchiya-san, the president of the IJCC.
Okay, Ashley-san, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Dear JET participants, members and friends of IJCC, good evening and warm welcome to our Welcome JET event. My name is Yoshihiro Tsuchiya. I'm the chairman of the Island Japan Chamber of Commerce, IJCC. Let me briefly introduce my connection with Ireland. I used to live in Ireland for 3 years in Dublin from 2010 to 2013 for business as a CEO of the subsidiary in Ireland of Japanese non-life insurance group called Mitsui Sumitomo Insurance. And I really enjoyed my work and life in Ireland. After I came back to Japan, I joined IJCC, and 2 years ago, I became the president of IJCC. Also, I was the chairman of organizing committee of the largest Irish event in Asia called I Love Ireland Festival, which was held in Tokyo every year for celebration of the St. Patrick's Day in Japan before COVID-19 started. Now, we are very pleased that IJCC can host this Welcome JET event online for the first time. Let me introduce Ireland Japan Chamber of Commerce, IJCC, and also the background we have started to host this event. IJCC is the non-profit private organization to be the foremost business network for Irish and Japanese companies and business professionals. We have around 120 members, including various Japanese and Irish companies and individuals. And many of our members and board members are actually ex-JET people. Our main focus is business, and we are currently strongly supporting Irish corporates and Irish people when they start or do business in Japan, especially to support reaching a network in Japan. We have very close relationship with Irish Embassy in Japan and government agency in Japan, such as IDA, Enterprise Island, Board Beer, which are the members of the Team Island in Japan. And we are also part of the team and working very closely to enhance business relationship between Ireland and Japan. But IGCC is not only focusing on business. We are also supporting sports and culture and other activities relating to Ireland and Japan. The biggest example is, as I mentioned, we host I Love Ireland Festival, which I mentioned at the beginning, and it is the biggest showcase of Irish music, dancing, food and beverage, and other Irish culture and business in Japan, which has been grown up to attendance of more than 100,000 people in 2 days. And we work very closely with other Irish organizations such as Irish Network Japan, GAA, CCE, which we would like to introduce today to all of you. IGCC also have many active committees such as Sports and Culture Committee, Regional Committee, Sustainability Committee, Market Entry Committee, and furthermore new committee to come. And the idea to hold this event for JET people has started from our regional committee, as Ashini-san mentioned. Our regional committee was established 2 years ago, and we have been holding online event called Tales from the Region, which we have been introducing Irish people based in local town in Japan and ask them to introduce their region and activities to our members. We already have 7 events, including introducing Kamaishi Niwate, Fukuroi in Shizuoka, Wakayama, Nara, Osaka, Matsuen in Shimane, and recently Fukui. We would like to further widen the areas to introduce and find the Irish people based in local town in Japan. Without doubt, JET people are the Irish people who are most widely located throughout Japan, and we would like to connect, introduce you and your activities, and also we would like to connect you to Irish communities in Japan, since we learned from some ex-JET people that JET person can be very isolated in local part of Japan and possibly not being aware of any activities of Irish communities in Japan, including IGCC. In addition, IGCC would like to support the JET people if you wish to find and develop your business career in Japan, and we would like to, and we are able to introduce you experienced and talented Irish members which used to be in a similar position like yourselves. We would like to continuously hold events for JET people to assist you, and please feel free to contact us through Emiko-san, who is our operational manager, or our IJCC website, which is simple, www.ijcc.jp. And consider joining IJCC to become closer to Irish community in Japan. If you join us, your door to various organizations or people in Irish community in Japan will easily open to you. To close my remarks, first of all, I would like to sincerely thank Mr. Gavin Monley, JET coordinator from Embassy of Japan in Ireland, for attending and giving remarks tonight. Also, I would like to thank Mr. Owen Flavin from Embassy of Ireland, Tokyo, to collaborate strongly with us to host this event and giving remarks as well. Then I would like to sincerely thank all representatives from Irish organization who kindly join us tonight and give introduction of the organization later. Mr. Emmett Bowen of INJ by video message, Ms. Naoko Nakamura of GAA Japan, and Ms. Reiko Yamashita of CC Japan. Thanks a million all. 本日はご参加ありがとうございました。And the biggest thanks to JET participants tonight to spend your valuable time with us. We look forward to develop closer relationship with you in future. Finally, I hope you will enjoy the event tonight, including the quiz session and networking time in breakout room. And again, thank you very much for joining us. and hope to see you in our next event. ありがとうございました。
Thank you very much, Tsuchiya-san. Thanks a million. So next up, I would like to invite Gavin Munnelly to say a few words. And Gavin worked in the Embassy of Japan in Ireland as the JET coordinator from 2021 to 2022. So many of you might have had interactions with Gavin during your JET application process and before and after your departure. Over to you, Gavin.
Thank you, Aisling. I suppose just to start, I'd like to say thank you very much for having me here today. To just give a quick introduction of myself again. My name is Gavin Munnelly. I was JET participant in the role of CIR in Obihiro, Hokkaido from 2019 to 2021. And then once I got back to Ireland after my time in Japan, I was JET coordinator for year 2022 from September last year up until February. I believe some of you I may have met previously. So for those of you that I haven't met before, it's a pleasure to meet you. And for those who I have, it's very good to see you again. In particular, for any participants from the 2020 and 2021 JET program, who I believe left last November. If I get the opportunity to speak to you tonight, it would be an absolute pleasure. Just to start, I suppose, if it's all right, I'd like to explain a little bit about what JET is, just for anybody who may be unfamiliar. So the JET program is an initiative run by the Ministry of Education, Culture, Sports, Science and Technology and the Council of Local Authorities for International Relations, both of whom are members or I guess organizations of the government of Japan. The JET program invites young graduates from around the world, not just Ireland, to participate in international exchange and foreign language education in Japan with the goal of promoting grassroots international exchange. For Irish JETs, there are usually two kinds of positions available: Coordinator for International Relations, CIR, who will generally work with local government authorities on really a wide variety of internationalization projects. And then the other position is Assistant Language Teacher, ALT, who will generally work in public schools, perhaps one, perhaps multiple, to assist English language teachers with running and creating a fun learning environment for their class. Ireland joined the JET program in 1988, and since then, over 1,390 Irish people have gone to Japan as part of the JET program, and we anticipate roughly another 50 people to be leaving this year at the end of July to go out and participate as part of the 2022 program. My own experience on JET was, I guess, a little bit unusual, but in many ways quite extraordinary as well. I left on JET in September 2019. And as I said previously, I ended up in Obihiro in Hokkaido. For anyone unfamiliar with Obihiro, it's really kind of almost in the center of Hokkaido. It would be the central administrative hub of the area known as Tokachi, which is also known as the breadbasket of Japan. So it was an area that actually looked quite a lot like Ireland. There was a lot of agriculture and food production involved. So as you could imagine, me coming from Ireland, it suited me very well. It was something that, like any JET, I had to adapt to in some ways. The first thing that comes to mind was the weather. I went from Ireland summer, Irish summer, where, you know, you'd be lucky if it was 25 degrees and not raining on any particular day, to a summer where it was 32 degrees most days, and then a couple of months later into a winter where it would be unusual if it went above -10. So there was a huge, I guess, adaptive experience there. But getting to see the different culture that evolved around Obi Hero as a result of even just the temperature was phenomenal. I'd imagine that similarly for other jets, they would have very similar experiences where they have to adapt to their own locality's culture and temperature and, I guess, general topography and geography. In addition, the one thing that I found was fantastic on my experience in the JET program was kind of the ability to experience a true Japanese style workplace. Like, for example, my experience here working in Ireland has been very different from that in Japan, in that in Japan, everything had to be planned out very much. I got a huge amount from my time on JET. Japanese skills, fantastic, I guess, opportunities to make friends, networking opportunities. And to be honest, I feel like possibly I could have gotten more out of my time in Japan, but unfortunately, just as I arrived, COVID-19 was starting to come into the frame. And hopefully now the current jets will have more of an opportunity now that we're moving from a worldwide pandemic to a more controlled rate of transmission. Having said that, I would like to remind all the jets currently in this call to bear in mind you are a representative of Ireland while you are in Japan, so don't go completely wild, okay? Stay safe. I guess just to quickly wrap up, the past couple of years, both as a JET participant and as a JET coordinator, have been a little bit extraordinary. Both the 2020 and 2021 jets had their departures delayed up until November of last year, which was quite a late departure. But hopefully now moving forward, the coordination of the JET program will start to stabilize, and we'll start to be able to really integrate with each other, both in terms of, I guess, meeting people locally and more online events like this to connect each other, both in terms of, I guess, jets connecting with each other and jets also connecting with members of the extended Irish community within Japan. Just to wrap up, I guess I'd like to say best of luck to all of the jets currently out there. I hope that you're all having a great time, settled into your positions for anyone who has recently gone out. And I strongly encourage you to make the most of your time in Japan and participate in many of these kind of events as possible, and to network and connect with people as much as possible. So thank you for having me today. And I guess thank you again, Aisling, and back to you.
Thanks very much, Kevin. Great advice there. And thanks for the informative explanation of the JET program and about your time on JET. And I think we all agree that there is a lot of adjustment to do when you're moving to a country like Japan, and you have the 4 seasons and you have a lot of culture differences to deal with in the workplace. So great to hear your input and your advice to the JET participants. And thank you very much again for giving your time tonight as well, or a morning for your time actually. So talk to you in the breakout rooms. Great. So next up, I'd like to invite Third Secretary Owen Flavin to say a few words on behalf of the Embassy of Ireland in Japan. Is Owen with us? Oh, we can't hear you yet, Owen. You can hear us, I'd say, right? Okay. Muted on Zoom. If you want, we can come back to you, so no pressure.
Oh, no, I think you've unmuted me, have you?
Yeah. Oh, we can hear you.
Oh, great. I think that was a forced mute there,
oh,
Aisling. That wasn't,
sorry.
well, no,
Putting the blame on me.
No, this isn't going to descend into intra-Irish community fighting online. No, glad this is working. And yeah, thanks a million for inviting me to speak, and on behalf of the embassy here. I'm glad that Gavin actually quoted the figure for Jets first, the number since the start of the program, because my figure that I had on record was 1,200. So it seems like there's been a jump of 190, which is great from the perspective of bilateral relations. But I'm actually one of those 1,390 Jet participants as well. I was a former Jet in 2012 to 2013 in Kaga City in Ishikawa. And I've been in the embassy here since 2018. So certainly Jet has been a huge part of my life, even though it was for a year. And I can kind of relate to what Gavin mentioned about not making the most of my time. Number one, I should have stayed longer. I admitted that to myself soon after, and I tried to weasel my way back, which I've happily done. But I'll say a little bit about the importance of the Jet program from bilateral relations, but on a personal level, for me, and in fact, my sister was also a Jet. It was a transformative experience, and it opened a whole new world for both of us. So I don't have enough good things to say about the Jet program, even though I was in a very small town with essentially nothing to do. I think it was still a fantastic experience. But yeah, in terms of Jet's role in bilateral relations, just from a human resource perspective, as well as myself, there's two others here in the embassy who are former Jets. And I can think of at least 6 people within the Department of Foreign Affairs who are former Jets. So the Jet program really has been a kind of a launching pad for a lot of people who are interested in international affairs, and particularly bilateral relations between Ireland and Japan. So in that sense, thank you, Japanese government, for training some of us in Japanese and in all things about Japan. So as there's typically about 100 Jets in the country at any one time. And it's very hard, I think, to quantify the value from the perspective of Japan-Ireland relations of the program, because for every 100 people that are here, for the 1,390 that have been to Japan, so many of them have made their lives, associated, their careers associated with Japan. Many of them, as has already been mentioned, participate in local community groups like the IJCC. So yeah, it's a huge part of the bilateral relationship. For the embassy here, as well as supporting bilateral links and the community here in Japan, there's a huge amount of economic diplomacy in supporting Irish companies, in supporting inward investment from Japan into Ireland, maintaining political relationships, and also cultural promotion. My role here in the embassy is as in charge of administration and consular affairs. And for those of you who aren't familiar with consular affairs, basically I'm the person that you will meet if you ever get arrested. And I know that's not going to happen for any of you. In pre-COVID times, we used to have a reception for Jets in Tokyo when you were here for induction. And, I'd kind of give a spiel of just how horrendous the Japanese law and justice system can be for those who find themselves on the wrong end. So it just as I'll give the kind of serious spiel now about the different kind of difficulties that Jets can face. As has been already mentioned, there is, of course, loneliness and isolation in some cases. Some people might not adapt to their surroundings, their workplace, and it can take a big hit on people's mental health, and it can be difficult to know where to reach out. And, for anyone who finds themselves in those situations, there are supports available. And, the embassy is always here for confidential advice, for signposting, and, so you can always feel free to reach out, and we can try and put you in touch with people who can assist, or even just we can just have a chat. As I mentioned, crime, there have been some unfortunate instances of Jets in the past who have, committed what we would think of as minor offences in Ireland, but which are treated with extreme severity in Japan, minor public disorder offences, for example. It can ruin your jet. You'd be sent home, of course, but it can. It's not a pleasant experience to spend up to 3 weeks without charge in a Japanese jail. So do please bear in mind that some behaviours that you might think are acceptable in Ireland or elsewhere may not exactly be viewed in the same way here in Japan. People can be victims of crime in Japan, of course, and it can be an extremely harrowing experience if you're on your own and you're away from your support network. Again, the embassy is here for confidential advice and signposting and support. Natural disasters, they happen here. Maybe some of you in the past few months have experienced some fairly hefty tremors. You know, there's a lot of advice online about preparing, and in the event of a natural disaster of a large scale, the embassy will be on hand to support in terms of various things, and also obviously liaising with your family if that's necessary. In recent years, well, I say years, 2 years, COVID has obviously impacted all areas of the embassy's work, but particularly for a lot of jets. I was here in March 2020, and I don't know if any of you online were here at the time, but it was a very frightening experience for a lot of people who really didn't know what was going to happen in terms of the pandemic. Travel situation, flights were drying up, and it for a lot of people, they had to make decisions and snap decisions of whether they wanted to leave or stay based on their personal circumstances. You know, in cases like that and ongoing with entry restrictions or COVID restrictions, again, the embassy can support. But one thing we did learn through that experience, I think, as an embassy, was certainly the value of people staying connected within the community, the Irish community here, particularly jets in very isolated rural areas. So I would really recommend involving in any of the groups that you can. We're actually launching a kind of a revised embassy newsletter, which just kind of looks a little bit neater than the previous email version, which I think went a bit stale there a few years ago. So we'll be sending that out to interested Irish citizens in Japan, and you know, perhaps you might want to register for that. It'll give general updates on embassy work and other Irish community events. What else should I say? Register with the embassy, please. If you could register your details, that'd be great. It's on the website. That's in the event of a natural disaster. We have your contact details. I do have a list of all JET participants, and can and will email JETs in times of crisis, like was done during COVID-19. And aside from that, I would say, yeah, if you're in schools and you're looking for any promotional materials about Ireland, we do have a stock of things like brochures, and we need to restock our pens because it turned out the ink had all dried up for the last few hundred of them. So, but we will have more soon. But do get in touch if you have any ideas about events or anything. We often send materials. As Aisling can attest to, we can send some materials for promotional use in local events that you might have to promote intercultural exchange or whatever. So yeah, on the whole, best of luck with your time here. You know, the JET program is fantastic, and I think we all owe the Japanese government a big word of thanks for their munificence in allowing us to reside in their country on a living wage. So I hope you have a great time, and get in touch if things go wrong, and if things, you know, don't, feel free to do so as well. Thanks very much.
Thank you so much, Owen. That's brilliant. And a big thank you as well to you yourself and the embassy for all your support in not just organising tonight's event, but just the support towards the JET participants as a whole. A lot to take away there. So I think we'll all be registering for the new newsletter, submitting our information to the embassy, and as you mentioned, I myself took advantage of the embassy's promotional material a few years ago when I was holding a sports event in Kamaishi City, and I was delighted to receive a load of stickers, and people all took those home with them. So that was very appreciated. And like yourself and Gavin said too, I can sympathize with the feelings of you both mentioned not making enough of your time here, and as I I'm reaching the end of my 5th and final year. I still can't believe just how quickly the time has gone. So I also encourage you all to just really dive in and enjoy without, getting into any felonies at the same time. So thanks again, Owen, for everything. Okay, moving on now, we have a video message from Emmett Bowen, and Emmett is the chairman of Ireland Network Japan, or INJ, to welcome you all. And INJ is basically a volunteer organization that was created in 1987 with the goal of creating a social and cultural network for Irish community living in Japan. So Emiko, I'll ask you when you're ready to play that.
Good evening. My name is Emmett Bowen, and I'm the chairman of the Irish Network Japan, or the INJ for short. I'm sorry I was not able to attend tonight's event due to my work schedule. I would like to thank the IJCC for allowing us to send this video message. And I'd like to extend a very warm welcome to all our JET teachers to Japan. I hope you're all settling in well, and you got a chance to see our beautiful cherry blossoms. If not, there's always next year. I'd like to tell you a little bit about the INJ and what we do here. The INJ is a non-profit organization, which means we're all 100% volunteers, including myself, with the passion of spreading Irish culture throughout Japan. We were established way back in 1987 here in Tokyo, with our first St. Patrick's Day parade ever in Japan in 1988. From our humble days of our first parade in Roppongi Hills in Tokyo, we have been able to spread the parade throughout Japan with our partners and the help of our supporters. Some of the events we used to hold before COVID was we would support our local Halloween parade here in Omotesando in Tokyo. We would have cherry blossom parties after our St. Patrick's Day parade, of course, being the biggest event. We would hold stalls within local festivals, and we'd also attend the Japanese Racing Association Irish Trophy Racing Cup. Well worth visiting in October if you ever come to Tokyo, as well as our parade. After COVID, or I should say, in our current position, we are working on some exciting events this year. Unfortunately, I'm not able to mention them tonight. It's a wait and see with obviously the numbers of COVID, but hopefully very soon we'll be able to announce with our partners some exciting events. If you'd like to know what they are, and you'd like to join the INJ, come and find us on Facebook under Irish Network Japan. We have an English page as well as a Japanese page. So why not join both? You can also find us on Twitter and our website, www.inj.or.jp. For your slice of home of Ireland here in Japan, come visit us at the INJ. I hope you have an amazing experience here in Japan and you get to travel as much as you can, see as much as you can while staying safe. On behalf of the INJ, thank you and welcome to Japan.
Okay, thank you very much. That was Emmett Bowen, and he's the chairman of the INJ. And INJ do a lot of work around the St. Patrick's Day parades and other festivals in Japan. So if anyone is ever looking to get involved in that more, that is the organization to reach out to. Okay, moving on, we have a few more introductions before we jump into the quiz. So next up, I'd like to invite the president of Japan GAA, Naoko Nakamura, to say a few words on behalf of the GAA club, the official home to Gaelic Games in Japan.
Hi.
Hi,
Thank you.
Naoko.
Hi. Okay. Thank you very much for inviting me. I'm Naoko Nakamura, Japan GAA chairperson. I'm proud to introduce you to Japan GAA. We are a club based in Tokyo with about 60 members. Our members are from different countries such as Ireland, the UK, Japan, Australia, Malaysia, America, Germany, and more. So far, we have members from Dublin, Derry, Donegal, Cork, Sligo, and more. I think the Japan GAA is an excellent way to meet a lively, friendly, and supportive Irish community away from home, as well as training sessions and an opportunity to play at the Asian Gaelic Games. We have many social events such as pub quizzes, sports day, and regular sessions after training on the weekend. Training is usually held in either Azabu or Shinagawa for 2 hours. We try to hold these sessions once or twice a week, depends on the booking. You don't need to worry if it's your first time to play Gaelic football. We cover the basics in most training sessions and often have newbies join. Everyone is very supportive and encouraging, so each session is good luck. The club have the opportunity to play at the Asian Games and North Asian Games. The games have been hosted in Manila, Singapore, Phuket, Hong Kong, Shanghai, Penang, Bangkok, Busan, Seoul, and Japan. There is also the opportunity to play at the World Gaelic Games held in Ireland. Due to COVID, the club were not able to meet as much, but held many online events to keep members active and social. We had online fitness competitions and online cooking sessions to keep our members in contact. A huge event we hold is Sports Day each year, which is a day-long event where we play Gaelic, hurling, tag rugby, and more. It is a great club and everyone looks forward to it. We have a Sports Day on Saturday, 28th of May. We are lucky to access Komazo Park for the day, which is usually very exclusive. Now that the pandemic is coming to an end, we are hoping to host other Asian teams in Japan for friendly matches. This may mean traveling to Osaka and having the team from Korea or China fly in to play, which would be very exciting. I believe you will enjoy our community and off the pitch. We can become your family away from home. If you'd like to join, please click the link in the chat and you can connect with us on various social media platforms. Before I finish, Sports Day is our closest big event. Please come join. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Naoko. That was very informative. And I also encourage anyone who's interested to just go and join one of Japan GA's training sessions and just see how you feel about it, because I although I'm not living in Tokyo and I live in Iwate Prefecture, so a few hours away, when I was in Tokyo for a business trip, I had the opportunity to join one of your training sessions, and I found it very enjoyable, and the group were all very so friendly and welcoming, and there's a very active line group, so if anyone is interested in getting involved, just let us know and we can add you to that too. So thank you very much for joining us here tonight, and good luck with your sports day on May 28th.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, last but not least, we have where I'm going to invite the president of the music group CCE Japan, Rieko Yamashita, to say a few words, please.
Thank you very much. So I'm from CCE, but it's an abbreviation of, can you see? All right. I have to, I have a background, sorry. Right. Kotas Kyodori Eren. You probably know. I don't want to show my messy room. Right. Kotas Kyodori Eren, Tokyo, Japan. So you probably know Kotas. It's all over the world and many branches in Ireland. So we are the group of musicians and dancers, but not professional, amateur, non-professional musicians and dancers who really love Irish traditional music and dancing. And some of them are interested in singing, sean-nós, and the language itself as well, right? And we've been here for how many? 30 years, actually. We are the official branch of Kotas. You know, Kotas the headquarters is located in Monkstown in Dublin, right? And we are organizing regular classes, workshops, events, concerts, KDs, anything that is related to Irish music and dancing. Let me introduce myself first, actually. I was living in Dublin for 7 years between 1996 to 2002, I think. And at that time, I was actually studying at DCU, Dublin City University, and I majored in communication, MA in communication and cultural studies. And I chose Dublin, or I chose Ireland, because I was interested in Irish traditional culture. So during the daytime I studied, but at night I really went to classes, workshops, events, and traveled around Ireland for dancing and music and everything. So that was really, really enjoyable. And I also used to live in Germany as well, a long time ago. So I had 2 European countries. So I really know how exciting it is to live in a foreign country. And every time, both in Germany and both in Ireland, I always ask, please tell me something about Japanese. What is Japanese culture? Or sing a song in Japanese. Or could you dance some traditional Japanese dance? And actually I couldn't. I knew, but it's so difficult to show what it is because I'm not trained. I was not trained. So you may already have been asked, what is Irish music? Because Irish music is very popular in Japan. What is Irish dancing? So exciting. Show me the steps, maybe, right? And something like that, right? So sports as well, but music, dancing is a part of Ireland. So if you are kind of, interested in showing your culture to your students and to your friends in Japan, so we can do something together maybe, or you can join us as well. We have regular music and dance classes, as I said. And also for these 2 years, we couldn't do anything. And also the headquarters in Monkstown had no chance to organize something. But this year, we are back. We have, it's called Fere Tokyo, Festival Tokyo. We'll have it in Tokyo from June 18 and 19. So it's a kind of traditional music and dance showcase. And we have, as I said, workshops, and we have visitors from Ireland, actually, 2 musicians and dancers. And we have concert, Katie's, and Clark, right? And this was actually some of the, we have also competitions, and some of Japanese people will go to this year's Furakyo in Maringa. And that was really, big news in Ireland as well, because they didn't do anything for these 2 years. So I'm very excited to have this chance, and I'm looking forward to seeing you at our events. Thank you very much, and see you soon again.
Thank you so much, Rieko. And it's great that you have more opportunities now for showcasing Irish music and that you'll be visiting Ireland as well. That's brilliant. Thank you so much. We're looking forward to seeing you perform in person or online in the near future. Okay, so that wraps up all of our introductions, and now we are going to have an online quiz about Irish Japan connections, and we're going to use an app, kind of like a website called Crowd Party. So Emiko will share the screen, and if you if you could read the QR code with your phone, perhaps would be the easiest. You'll get access to the quiz, and just type in your name, and then we'll kick off once everyone is ready to go. I guess I should mention too that some of the quiz questions might be a bit easy for people involved in, working in Ireland, Japan kind of community. So if you want to observe or participate for fun, then go ahead. We'll try to prioritize the Jet and other participants for the top 3 prizes at the end, though. Okay, we'll wait another 2 minutes. Okay. All right. I think if anyone is still having trouble, let us know before we start, because we'll start now otherwise. Okay, no one has mentioned any trouble. So Emiko, I think we're ready to start.
How many Irish people live in Japan? 4,011, 3,053, 2,102 or 1,106?
And just to let you know, to choose the answer on your phone, not the computer screen, because that's just Emiko sharing her screen.
Is there any prefecture in Japan that has no Irish residents? Yes or no?
A lot of yeses there.
Tokyo is the city where the largest number of Irish people in Japan live. But which prefecture is in second place? Aichi, Chiba, Kanagawa, or Osaka?
Osaka is number 3. Kanagawa is number 2.
What was the biggest project launched in 2017 for the partnership between Ireland and Japan? Creating an Ireland and Japan joint rugby team, planning to build the new Ireland House, extending the I Love Ireland festival on St. Patrick's Day from 1 day to 2 days, or collaborating with Shibuya-ku on a Halloween festival.
So the new Ireland House is planned, the construction will be finished in 2023.
In which ku ward in Tokyo will the new Island House be built? Chuo-ku, Minato-ku, Shinjuku-ku, or Chiyoda-ku?
So the current Ireland House is actually located in Chiyoda-ku, but the new Ireland House will be in Shinjuku.
In which city/prefecture did Ireland and Japan play their Rugby World Cup 2019 match? Kumamoto, Hakata, Fukuoka, Fukuroi, Shizuoka, or Yokohama, Kanagawa? What is the top exported product from Ireland to Japan? Chemical elements, agricultural products, medical supplies, or precision machinery?
And this is it as of June 2021. Apologies if there's been changes since then.
What is the top exported product from Japan to Ireland? Chemical elements, general machinery, transport equipment, or medical equipment?
Okay, we're down to our last two questions.
What country in Ireland is home to the Lafcadio Hearn Japanese Garden? Kildare, Wexford, Waterford, or Limerick?
So what county in Ireland? Not country. Waterford. And Lafcadio Hearn's name in Japanese is Koizumi Yakumo, and he lived in Matsue City in Shimane Prefecture. And that's our last question.
Who is the last Japanese Minister for Foreign Affairs who visited Ireland? Fumio Kishida, Toshimitsu Motegi, Taro Azo, or Taro Kono?
So all four of these people have all been Japanese prime ministers of foreign affairs, but Kishida is the current prime minister, and he visited, I believe, in this year in January. Or was it this year? Was it? Sorry, I'm not sure of the year, but he was the last one to visit. Okay, so Ronan Miyachi, you have scored top tonight. Kasumi, you are second, and Gavin, you are third. And our prizes tonight, I will let you know as well. Let me just have a look at the list. Okay, so for our first prize winner, Ronan, you are going to receive an Irish box of chocolates. Kasumi, you are going to receive a Johnny Walker Black Label whiskey. And Gavin, you're going to receive an Irish rugby ball. So thanks all for participating in our first ever IJCC online quiz. Good effort from all participants. With that, we will get ready to move into our breakout rooms. If anyone at this point, has other things to take care of, then I guess I'll say a quick thank you so much for joining us. We hope you can stick around a little longer just to meet some of the the participants here tonight. And I think Emiko is probably getting the rooms ready in the background there. Yeah, we hope to see most of you in the breakout room, so I don't want to speak for too long. Emiko, you can let me know when you're ready. Oh, you ready? Okay. All right. We're off. So, oh, thank you, Rieko. I think we're all back now. So we just have hit the time for tonight of 9 o'clock. So I just want to wrap up really quick and say thank you all so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure to have you here. And on behalf of IGCC, we really hope to see you again in the future. We have a AGM online. Is it online, Emiko? You can give me a thumbs up if it's online or not.
It's online, but it's members only.
Okay, so we will have more events coming up throughout the year, hopefully aimed at JET participants as well. And if any of you are members, then the AGM will be in May. We also have a free newsletter via the email, so you can sign up for that regardless if you're a member or not. Of course, then there's also LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, all of those. Emiko does a great job of updating with interesting content. So feel free to stay, up to date there. And lastly, I suppose just the last thing would be to thank all of our speakers tonight. We had a great, loads of great introductions from Gavin and the Embassy in Ireland, the former coordinator. We had Owen Flavin from the Embassy in Tokyo. And we had, let's see if I could, Emmett via the online message. And we had Naoko from Japan GAA, and we had Rieko from CCE, which are all very active organizations in Japan promoting Irish activities. So I suppose just for the JETs and the new JETs in particular, we really wish you the best, and we hope that you can stay involved with IGCC, perhaps through the regional committee, which is how I got involved myself. If you ever need advice or any help in any capacity at all, just professional or just in daily life, we have a good mentor kind of a strategy system. So you're free to get in touch with any of us. Now I'm just blabbering on, so I'll just wrap up for tonight, and just thanks all again for joining, and we hope to see you again in the future.
Aisling, I'd just like to say,
Ronan.
I'd just like to say on behalf of the 2021 cohort of JETs, thanks for hosting this, and it was amazing to meet so many people passionate about just relations between Ireland and Japan. And yeah, I'll be looking forward to my chocolates. So,
appreciate that, Ronan. Thanks very much. Great. Night, so everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Nice meeting you.
Thank you.